shop there used to have Rolls Royces and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, really?
Free that you could buy.
Yeah, I think tax is something like 5% over there, and so yeah, you're only allowed to bring in like stuff for 400 euros.
Yeah.
So if they catch you and you buy expensive stuff, then you have to pay the tax here. So it's not really worth it.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
hard to smuggle in a Rolls Royce.
yeah,
that too. Maybe a Rolex. Yeah.
All right, I would like to get started. Since there's so many of us, I would like to get through our questions, everyone. So today's question, because Jim encouraged me, I changed my topic today because I was in a car accident just now, which was pretty terrible. And fortunately, we all walked away, which is a miracle, honestly. So on that note, my topic today is going to be, actually my car is totaled and I think I'm going to have some problems tomorrow, but right now I'm okay. I'm on Tylenol. So anyway, my topic today. What is the worst injury you have had in your life? So that was going to be a topic for this winter, but I've changed it up so that we can talk about it today. Fortunately, I am not injured. I do think I have a problem with my hand and my left arm, but my chest is killing me from the airbag.
Yikes.
But
so everything
anyway,
went off.
What'd you say?
Everything went off.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how we both walked away actually, but we did.
Who was in the car with you?
What?
Who was in the car with you?
I was alone, thankfully.
Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's okay. It's just a car, and I'm going to be fine, I think. And it was a little old man. He's 90. I was so worried that he wasn't going to get out of the car, but he got out of the car, and I hugged him, and he was fine. And so, anyway, it's all right. My worst injury, I'll start with me. And Jim knows this story, and Sue knows this story, but I broke my nose in Japan. So my nose has been broken 2 or 3 times. I quit counting, so I know I broke it twice and possibly a 3rd time. First time playing football in the backyard with the boys from the neighborhood. Second time I hit myself in the face with a pair of, you say, nunchucks from karate. And then I broke it a 3rd time playing football at a tailgate party for an Ohio State game. So that's my life. Big fat face. All right, so let's start with Europe. I'm so excited you're here. So let's start with Renee. How about you? Have you ever had a traumatic injury? And what in the world happened?
Luckily, nothing dramatic. I played soccer pretty intense until I was 18, I guess, and oh gosh, I'm pretty bad at the doctor vocabulary.
It's okay.
Is ligament a term? Like you cut? Yeah. So I had ankle ligaments twice, ligament stretched pretty often. So that was actually the worst thing that happened. I was pretty lucky so far not to have to go to the hospitals for that kind of thing. So, yep.
Wow, that's good. All right, so Johanna, where are you? Johanna, can you hear us?
Yes, where's Renee at in Europe?
In Germany.
Okay.
Yep.
Johanna, can you hear us? Hello. All right, we're going to go to Scott Weaver, who is in Taiwan. It is 1 a.m. in Taiwan. So he gets the gold star for coming to this meeting today.
Oh, glad to see everyone. Yeah, first time to see a lot of people, I think. Anyways, yeah, injuries, nothing too bad. The only maybe about 2008, our company took us on a team building exercise, river tracing or something, walking up a river, and broke my toe on that one. But then the next year they had another one, and my colleague broke his leg. So our company's team building outings were horrible events. But anyway,
Did they stop
I fell out of
doing
the boat
them?
on the second one. I thought we're going down rapids and I hit a rock. So that my worst thing is my company's team building event.
That sounds like a terrible plan. I'm glad they
Yeah,
stopped
just-
them.
And the head of the company he came over from Hong Kong the next day, and then my colleagues with a big cast on his leg because he jumped. They told him to jump out of a boat, and he jumped out of a boat. The ground was not far below where he jumped out of, and he just went cracking. So I think I broke my leg. So they came to visit us the next day. I had a cast on my foot, and he had one on his leg. And they said, "What did you guys do?" And he said, "Team building exercise."
That's horrible.
Horrible.
All right,
horrible.
I saw Johanna try to speak. Can you hear us? We can
Sounds
see that
good.
you're trying to communicate, but I can't see you or hear you, Johanna. So I'm not sure there's something you can do. Keep trying. I'm going to go to Elda. Elda, I know you just joined us, but I want to get all of our internationally located people on first. Our question for today is, have you broken anything or had any sort of traumatic injury to your body? Unmute yourself if you're talking. All right, Elda, unmute yourself.
Can.
All right. So while you guys try to work it out, Johanna keeps trying, but I can't see him coming in. All right, so let's go to Laurel. How about you? Tell us about your most traumatic.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Elda. How are you?
I'm fine. I just left my office. I totally forgot that because we changed the time, so on the weekend, and I totally forgot that you guys don't have it yet. So I think, okay, I still have a little bit of time.
So our question for today is, have you experienced any sort of traumatic injuries in your lifetime?
Not physical, but spiritual, yes.
Yeah.
Everybody has at a certain point, whether they are physical or they are in the spiritual. So
Nothing physical.
There's Howard,
I see Howard. So where is Howard, I wonder?
Guatemala.
I'm here in the middle of the cornfield, so hello to everyone.
All right, so you also missed the question, but Howard, I'm going to go straight to you. Have you had any physical trauma to your body, like a broken bone or anything in your lifetime?
Yes, a couple broken bones.
Tell us a funny story about breaking something, if it can be funny now, maybe.
I guess the best, well, yeah, none of those are funny. I remember being a little kid and being with my babysitter, and the car door was open, and I thought, I wonder what it would be like to stick my finger in that gap in the door when the door is open. I stuck my finger in there, and sure enough, he happened to close the door at the same time. So,
Oh, wow.
one of those silly kid things. So,
Was your finger broken?
yeah, it was broken. So, I was young enough though, so I don't think it hurt it too bad. So,
That isn't funny, is it actually?
no, but yeah.
Eloisa, how about you?
Well, I think the worst accident that I have had was when we were driving from picking up my brother who was making a visit to Guerrero, where we used to live back in Mexico, and I had gone to pick him up, with my 9-year-old daughter and my baby, Luis, who must have been about maybe 6-8 months. And as we were driving back, this horse got in our way. So we crashed with a horse, and I flew with my baby in my arms from the back seat right in the middle of the 2 seats of the vehicle that we were driving. So I just stopped with my head at the floor of the car. But that was it. Nobody was hurt. Of course, the vehicle was damaged, but that's okay. You know, it's all material things. So we were all well, a little bit scared, but that's no broken bones, no broken nose, no nothing. All of us were safe. My daughter was okay. My brother was okay. So that was fine. So that's been the worst accident. Huh?
What happened to the horse?
I was going to ask the same thing.
It was gone on the side of the road. That was the end of the horse. Well, that happens in rural communities.
Yeah.
They either are set loose or they jump out the fences, but that's part of living in those areas. Fortunately, I haven't had any experiences like that anymore. Mm-hmm.
My goodness, that's good.
Yes.
All right, Laurel, back to you. I started to ask you and then I cut you off.
No worries. Her location is much more interesting than mine. I'm at Kent State University. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I mean, like this works really well, but it only works with Teams. So I had to switch to my Zoom thing. But anyways, Elda's location is more interesting than mine, which is Kent State University, my office, the library. So injury, I haven't really had any injuries. I hurt my calves once doing these calf raises, and I probably it was too much of weight, and I couldn't stand up because it just hurt so much. So I was like walking around hunched over, and I had to get something from the grocery store. And so I was just kind of like around. So that's probably it. And then, as some of you know, like, gosh, about a year ago, they call it a liver injury because I ate lentils that had some type of toxic substance in them, and they caused short-term liver failure. So when that happens, they call it a liver injury, but I got through it pretty well, and I didn't get hospitalization. So yay for no hospitalization and keeping all my organs. Other people that had they had to have their gallbladder removed.
Yeah, I remember when you had that liver thing going on. That was pretty scary.
Yeah, it was very, very scary, but I'm thankful that I got through it pretty well, and now I celebrate by traveling the world when I can. He said, "What kind of treatments do you need?" Well, I need treatment in the form of airline tickets. I prefer the Star Alliance if possible, but if not, you know, I can venture over to Delta and KLM if I have to.
I think that would solve most of my problems too, actually.
Well, see, there you go.
All right, how about you, Bob? I can't see where you went. There you are. How about you? Have you had any traumatic physical injuries in your lifetime?
Well, Chris, you and I have something in common.
Uh-oh.
I've had my nose broken a number of times. And
I
there
knew
are
I loved you.
some consistencies in this. There wasn't much sympathy on any of those occasions, but there was always an accompanying advice. Don't stick your nose where it doesn't belong.
Great advice. So how did you break it?
Sports, you know.
Sports. You didn't get punched in the mouth, punched in the nose.
No, football.
We do have a lot in common then.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. How many times do you think you broke it?
Oh my goodness. Well,
That many times.
sometimes it's bloody and you think it's broken and it isn't, but I can tell you at least 3 times.
That sounds like me. I think football's like my face, but that's all right. Well, that's crazy. That is really crazy. All right, let's see. How about Ken? How are you?
Oh, let's see. 5th grade, December 5th, it was my cousin's birthday. The assignment was go down the street, get the twins from playing so we could go to my cousin's birthday party. And the neighbors hadn't really shoveled their driveway, so I fell and put my collarbone into the corner of their house. And my father thought I was being a wuss, and so he did nothing. Except to when I was protesting, was making me move my arm all around everywhere, because of course I was just faking it. Why, like I would not want to go get birthday cake for some reason. And so a couple of days later, my mother took me without Dad knowing it to the hospital to get it checked out after a couple of days, and there's a big chunk of collarbone missing. And all that Dad's ever said since was, well, it builds character. That was it.
But it does. He's not wrong.
Yeah. Big Rick, apologies. No. I'm not bitter. But
Do you have lots of character now?
I have lots of character, and on days like this when it's damp outside, I make all kinds of nice popping sounds. It's great.
That was in 5th grade.
5th grade, yep.
That is a long time to hold a grudge.
You're damn right it is. I might put a sling once we put him in the ground. I don't know, hang it over the stone. We'll see, just to remind him one last time. Take your kids to the hospital. That's why the union gave you health insurance, but whatever, it's fine.
Oh my God. All right, Sue, how about you?
No accidents really.
About the time you fell out of the car.
Well, but I was little and I don't remember that. The story is I wanted to get from, I think I was about 5 years old, maybe 4 years old. I wanted to get from the back seat to the front seat, and that was before child locks or before you could take the, everything off the back. And so I opened the door and rolled out into the ditch and ended up in the hospital. The only memory I have of that is going to the window and waving to my friends that lived about a block away from the hospital and could walk over. But pictures, I've got a big, gauze bandage around my head, but I don't really, that's it. I don't know. I have a partial knee, but that was my decision. That wasn't an accident, so.
All right. How about you, Paul?
Well, I've survived totaling my car twice without serious injury. But the most serious injury I've had was this January when I was playing racquetball and I tore my quadricep tendon, which required surgery and about a 10-week recovery period with a full leg brace and all that stuff.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's all better now.
How can you all be better by now? You did that this year?
Yeah, January.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Chris, you disappeared.
I know.
I don't play racquetball anymore.
I bet you don't.
Good decision.
I don't know why my video went out. Oh well, whatever. Oh my goodness. Well, are you taking up another sport instead?
Well, I'm exploring pickleball, but I haven't actually got on the court again yet. But Chris, I was going to suggest following your automobile accident, I would strongly urge you to go see a chiropractor, even though you don't feel like you need one.
Okay.
In 3 or 4 days.
I'm going to feel like it.
Yeah. And so it would be best if you could do that as soon as possible.
I am going to take your advice and make that phone call when we get off this this meeting. I actually, I don't feel quite right, but that might answer a question.
Yeah, don't ignore it. My my ex-wife got rear-ended, not a terribly significant accident, but she has suffered neck pain since that for a year now. So I would urge you not to ignore the potential.
Okay. I am nodding. Not that you can see it. I'm trying to figure out why am
Don't
I
nod too vigorously, you're injured. Be
Oh,
careful.
true. I'm nodding gingerly. Well, I appreciate that. I think I will do that. Thank you. All right, so let's move on. Matt, how about you? You have to have a great story for us.
Well, I led a very active life, so I've had a lot of broken bones. And I've been shot a couple times, but nothing really worth talking about. It'll take all day.
Let's hear about the
I'll
shots.
just pass it on.
Yeah.
I knew enough to duck when I got shot at.
Wait, tell us about getting shot. Was it a hunting accident?
No.
Okay,
War?
then please tell. You've got to tell us. Or you don't want to tell us.
That's correct.
All right. So
Yeah, that liquor store owner may be listening in.
Yeah, you never know.
true.
That's the other recommendation for Chris. For
What
medicinal
is that?
purposes.
The liquor store?
For medicinal purposes, a little spiritus memento in the end of the day. Yeah.
All right. I will write that down as well. All right, Jim, I'm going to ask you to tell us what happened to you, and I'm going to exit the meeting and come back while you're talking.
Good luck.
Don't let her in, Jim.
I know. Well, I suppose my first traumatic accident was when I was in the first grade. I got run over by a car, riding home on my bicycle to show my parents my good grades, and rode right out into the street, got hit, broke my leg in 2 places. But if we want to, there's Johanna again, trying one more time to come in. On the theme of nose breaks, when I was in high school, I played basketball and broke my nose, but I had to wear one. You've ever seen those basketball players where they put the mask up on their face?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I almost played a whole entire season with one of those masks. So no matter which team, whichever town I went to in the NOL, Northern Ohio League, every single person knew who I was for years. So that's my story. Chris, it didn't work. Are you there, Chris?
Now we lost her.
How about Johanna? Have you been able to connect yet? Yeah, I see you came back in again.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
We can't see
Yeah,
you.
great.
How are you?
Thanks, I'm fine. How are you?
Good. What, you were at a city council meeting? Is that where, and you signed
Yeah,
in
we had a,
on the
yeah, we had a
city
team.
computers?
Yeah, with yeah, we had a Teams meeting. In Finland, we use only Teams. Zoom is not so common in Finland.
Right. Okay. Did you hear the question that's been thrown out here today?
Yes, yes, I heard it. Yes.
Do you have a story to tell us?
Nothing so special, actually. One story is what happened in. It was in April. I fell down in I'm not sure what is the right word for it. It's called grease pit. If you have a place where you fix your cars, there is a hole in a ground.
Yeah.
Where you can go under the car, and I fell down to that grease pit, and I broke my leg. But it was only a few weeks problem. Now it's fixed up.
I just came back. When did you break your leg?
I'm not sure what is the right word for it, but in Finland we call it grease pit. It's in a garage where you can fix your car if you want to go under your car. There's some kind of hole in the ground, and I fell down there.
Oh no.
Oh,
Was that this year? I missed it. I'm sorry.
Yes, it was in April.
Oh my goodness. And you're getting along fine now? That's good.
Yeah, it's fixed up. Yes.
Well, we're really happy that you're here. I wish I could see you, but that's all right.
Yeah, I have to use my cell phone because I cannot install the Zoom to my computer because it's the city council computer and we are forbidden to install there some other programs than city council accepts.
Yep, we understand. We're just happy you are here. Really happy. Let's see, David, how about you?
Well, in either 7th or 8th grade, I was playing softball, and I caught the softball right on the end of this finger. See that one? So I went to the doctor, and the
Show us
doctor,
that finger again.
the doctor put gauze ball here and a stick, what do you call it, a mouse stick here to have the finger up like that. And it hurt like sin. It was really bad. So I left his office and I took that stick and I went, that was the end of it. So it healed like this. That was my injury.
Ooh, ow.
Oh my goodness. So that's why you never became a medical doctor.
I thought I was doing something dirty.
Yeah, right.
oh, I'm going to stop.
All right, let's see. Penny, how about you?
Oh, well, until I heard Matt, I was going to claim the crown for most injuries. But I broke both my arm bones in a car incident when I was about 5 years old. I broke these 2 fingers playing volleyball in high school. I broke my thumb when I fell on the ice as a perfectly rational adult. I have broken numerous toes by clumsily stubbing on things. I broke my foot in 2007 and went to the Buckeyes National Championship game in a boot. I broke my ankle riding my bicycle and spent that summer in a boot as we traveled through Canada. I had a concussion from a basketball game in college where I hit the floor a little hard.
Wait, so you played varsity ball in college?
For 1 year. That's a separate story. It's pretty fun.
Okay.
When I was in kindergarten, a kid threw a stick that landed in my iris. That was no fun. But the story that I want to tell you, Chris, is that I was rear-ended. I was rear-ended in a car in 2011. And although there was some damage to my car, I thought that I was fine and didn't have any injuries. What I didn't know was that the labrum, the cartilage that holds your hip joint in place, had in that accident started a teeny little rip up against some arthritis in the bone because I've got lots of arthritis. And 6 months later, as I was getting out of my car, that labrum ripped in entirety. And
are you trying to make me feel better?
I am trying to make you go to the doctor.
Yeah.
I really want to encourage you to go to the doctor just to get things checked out, especially if you are still feeling pressure in your chest. You want to make sure that you don't have anything going on there that could be worrisome.
You're going to need to give her a note before the next meeting.
The moral of my story is that you may not realize that something happened. So also just listen to your body. If it doesn't feel right, see somebody.
Excellent advice.
I'll tell the
All
basketball
right.
story another day.
Yeah, I would like to hear it. Well, so how many things is that broken? Arms, fingers, toes,
fingers,
foot,
thumb,
ankle.
toes, foot, ankle. Concussion. That's
We didn't used to care about concussions. We
Yeah.
all had concussions before.
It's a lot. But
You
it's
are
spread out
I
over
think
years.
she's the winner.
I think she's the winner so far, but Chuck hasn't gone yet.
Okay, Chuck, can you beat Penny?
Well, I've had lumps and bumps and corrective surgeries, lots of stitches. Had an automobile accident involving an old Jeep, a gravel pit, and 4 other guys, the results of which I do not want to spread all over the world. So you're not going to hear about it.
Why
along
not?
with, excuse me?
Why not?
A little embarrassing, you know. But along with what Scott said, we had one of those ridiculous team building exercises where they put the largest guy in our office paired with the smallest gal on a 3-legged race where you put one leg in a burlap bag and you try to run it. Well, they went about 3 feet and she broke her leg horribly. It was awful. They had another team building exercise, a golf outing, and my boss fell out of a golf cart and got run over and broke his ankle, but he wasn't very well liked, so that was a good thing.
That sounds intentional, actually.
No, it wasn't. That's about it.
So where did you have stitches? You're the first person that's mentioned stitches.
We're running out of time. We're running out of
Break it up,
time.
Chuck.
Yeah, yes. I'd have to think. You know, all over the place. I don't want to show most of them, so.
I see.
Yeah, no, you
Or
don't.
I don't see. Yeah.
No, you don't.
All right. Well, I think Penny wins. Penny, I don't think that's a compliment.
No. It's why Steve worries about me whenever I want to do anything more than walk.
That's so funny. All right, well, I want to hear from you guys that are in Europe especially, but Scott, you can chime in as well. Elda, Johanna, Renee, that's everybody. So Bernice was going to try to be here, but Bernice is not well
Howard's
today.
with us, even though he's just not here that often.
Who is here?
Howard.
Oh, Howard. Yes, that's true. I was thinking Europe. I'm sorry. And I was going to say that Bernice planned to be with us, but she isn't well physically. So she's not here today, unfortunately. But since we don't get to talk to you guys that are over there, and Howard, you too, if you want to say something, bring it on. We're all here. We're all ears.
Well, it's great to see everyone.
Well, we're
Where's
really
Howard located at? Where are you, Howard?
I'm in Guatemala, just south of Mexico. So, yeah.
And
Yeah,
why are
so-
you in a cornfield?
That is a good question.
Well, you know, of all the backgrounds you can put, you know, like what else could you put, you know? So, and it lets people know that I'm probably not in the United States. So it kind of looks like Guatemala. So,
Well, it looks kind of like Ohio to me.
yeah.
There
Uh,
it is.
Right.
Well, it's true. It could be Ohio. That's true. I'll give a quick check-in report on Guatemala. I don't know if you guys have been following it. I think Guatemala has missed the news because of everything going on in Israel and Gaza and things like that. But we've been in a political flux here over the last month or so. We had presidential elections in August, and the current government has, or at least a couple of members of the current government have not recognized the person who won, and so they've called it a slow motion coup d'etat. So we've been in that, and that's meant a lot of roadblocks and protests. Specifically, I guess a couple of weeks ago, or those a 2 or 3 week period, there were up to 145 roadblocks throughout the country at different times. And so grocery stores were running out of food, restaurants were shutting down. It's kind of like being back in the pandemic again. Our kids were home from school, doing online learning again. So not fun in that sense, and just tumultuous politically. So right now things are calm, but there's still a lot of negotiations going on in back rooms as they figure out what's going to happen in Guatemala, and if this president is going to take power in January and his political party in January or not. So that's what's new here. So,
well, there's a lot of that going around. So you might want to give us some hints as to how to cope with it, because we might, have a similar situation.
That's right. I know. Yeah. No country is free from these sort of things now. So.
Oh, you aren't talking about Chris's position as president of our club, I hope.
Hey, bring it on. It's okay. I'd be okay to exit early. Just don't let me find out about it ahead of time, then it will be an actual coup d'etat. So how are the operations of the organization, Howard? Are you functioning okay? Because that would make your job really tough.
Right. Yeah, so we shut down the office for a little over 2 weeks, and so everyone moved back to working from home. But obviously for us who we're out working with schools, visiting schools, doing teacher trainings, all of that got put on pause. And so it's we're still now just trying to replan events and what things have to be postponed to January or February and things like that. So it makes you appreciate, or it makes you realize how instability is, or uncertainty is really instabilizing. I mean, it's like you have all these plans that you've made for weeks to months in advance, both personally and professionally. And when those get disrupted and you have to postpone and reprogram things, wow, it's pretty tricky. And when you can't, little things like you assume that every week you can go to the grocery store and buy more eggs. And when you don't have that certainty, then it's like pandemic, you start to freak out and think, oh boy, I better go to the grocery store right now. No, I need to go back at 8 o'clock tonight to see if they have more eggs. And so it's interesting, but so far we're fine. But that's what's happening to the organization, and just a lot of replanning and canceling some things, postponing others. So.
I appreciate that update, because I like to keep up sort of on world news, but I totally missed it.
Yeah, a lot of people often write us saying, "Oh, saw this in the news about Guatemala," but again, the Israel and Gaza thing happened right about the same time, and from what I can tell, that's kind of dominated the U.S. news. So
for sure,
give that update. So
yeah, thank you. How about you, Renee? What's up? What's going on over there? So are you celebrating Halloween, or are you just that a holdover from your life in Ohio?
No, it's actually getting bigger and bigger. So people start preparing, they're all excited. You see the stores full of Halloween stuff, so it's going to be big again. It's supposed to rain most of the day, so let's see if the party people will be out there, but the kids will definitely go around, and they enjoy that. Especially after the pandemic, I guess that's the second year they can go out again and grab all the sweet stuff, so should be fun. Yeah. And we have a holiday right after tomorrow, so that's pretty good too. So we can get together as the parents and have something out of the liquor store, I guess.
You are the lucky one, because by me, I don't have a day off on Wednesday. So
yep, that's
you are the lucky one.
Yeah, different in the States. Yeah.
So I have to
work.
Elton's
in Germany.
What's that?
Yeah, I'm in Germany.
Yeah, but the holiday is only in certain states, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So you are the lucky one, and I have still to work on Wednesday.
Yep.
That's nice.
we'll think of
I
you.
wish I could have it off.
You will not.
Yeah.
You only have a holiday in certain states? How does that work?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's a Christian holiday. So like in Bavaria, in Rhineland, and certain Christian states, they have that.
Yeah, it's just 3 or 4 states, so it's not all over, and we do have plenty of those. So in several states, several holidays, and then the federal ones.
Yeah.
So how is Halloween different in Germany than it is in Ohio, for example? Or is it pretty much the same?
Well, the only thing I'm missing is actually those haunted houses. So that the scary part, which I like. So, you know, forests that just have a scary whatever place, and houses they set up, but everything else is pretty much adopting to, I mean, yeah, when that's 30 years now, or 25. When I was, no, 30 years ago. So I can't really tell what it is now. It's been that long already. But memory it's pretty much the same.
You carve jack-o'-lanterns? Pumpkins?
Yep. Yeah. I have 3 outside of the house. I can take a picture and send it.
That'd be awesome. All right, so now I'm dying to know what you do on All Saints Day, because as far as I knew, you didn't drink on All Saints Day, but that's what you do in Germany?
No, do you do that in the US?
Oh, for sure.
No.
No, I thought you said the adults got together for, my mind went wrong, I guess. So what do you do on All Saints Day? Just a holiday.
Nothing, I guess. Nothing really. I would have to look up what this is all about, actually.
Okay.
No, we're just at home, I guess, and enjoy the time off.
I see. That's cool. Elda, did you want to say something else? Your face is missing.
No, I'm just arriving home right now, so I don't have many other things, but I was nice. Although I have the change here, so I forgot it was 5 and not anymore 6. But it's nice. Maybe you can organize a little bit more often such meetings where we Europeans or whatever else can participate too. I mean, that would be very, very nice, because we guys don't get that chance very often. So that would be really, truly appreciated.
Well, it's definitely our goal this year is to get everybody connected as best we can. So clearly we wanted to put a time out when it would be convenient for Europe and Africa. But for sure, Scott gets the sacrifice award today for coming at 1 a.m. Chuck wanted to say something. He actually raised his hand.
Yeah, big thanks to Elda for the great job she's doing on the programs, and they're great programs. Really enjoy them.
Yes, for sure.
Thanks, guys. A pleasure.
Thank you so much. And usually we don't get to hear your mouth talking. Some of us see you on Facebook, but we don't get to see each other actually doing something. Jim, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I see Johanna came back on again. He got knocked out and came back on. I would like to hear, Finland was one of our newest NATO nations. I'd like to, and I know Johanna was in the military. I would like to hear about your country and the response and all that's going on there. Can you unmute? Can you be with us?
Yes. Actually, we are really happy to be a member of NATO. I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it NATO or how do you say it? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, Sweden, I think that Sweden is now the newest member because the Turkey let them come into NATO, and of course it is very important thing to Finland because as you know, we have over 1,000 kilometers of border against Russia, so we will be the most eastern part of NATO, and probably because Russia will never be a member of NATO, this will be the final frontier, or how do you call it?
Yeah.
Final border. And I think that it is very important thing for Finland also economically, because now Finland is much more safer environment to invest or to build some industry, because we are part of NATO. So we don't have to be so much afraid of Russia anymore.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you're part of NATO. So.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, and I think that we have also something to give also to NATO, because we really know what Russia is for several. We have been a neighbor of Russia so many years that we really know what they are.
Are you still part of the reserves, or is your duty done that way?
Yeah, I think that I am still a part of reserve, but I think that my duty is done because I'm almost 50 years old. So usually, maybe I can step on the mines or something so usual because I'm so old. But
that'd be a pretty bad accident.
That would be a bad job title.
Do most people in Finland have some kind of a ongoing fear of Russia, or is it not a daily fear that Finland feels?
Let's say that Russia has attacked Finland every century for last 700 or 800 years. So I could say that we are used to be afraid of Russia.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Yeah. And actually, probably, if you know that Finland was a part of Russia from 1809 till 1917. So we were a part of Russia for 110 years. And 1917 we got independent.
Sue and I visited Johanna at his home. Tell him how old your home is and how long your farm has been in your family.
Actually, this house where we live is 263 years old. So it was built 1760. And the farm has belonged to our family since year 1616. So it's 406 years, 407 years now.
That's amazing.
Older than the United States, if you want to put it in perspective. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. The whole area is just gorgeous.
Unbelievable.
Really cool. And you have anything else good or not good, whatever?
Oh, can I ask a question? I came across this message about the youth exchange not taking place in the district, or is this everywhere? Or is it just a decision for the district? Do you know?
I'm gonna defer to Jim.
It was a decision just for Rotary District 6 and 600.
Okay.
They had the two students that went out this year. They had had them go through the district adjacent to us out of Cleveland. And then the two students that came in, I'm sorry, it's the other way around. The two students that came in, they're being hosted in the district adjacent to us. And the two students that were going out, I got this all messed up. The ones that are coming in are in Florida. The ones that are going out were sent out by the district next to us. And then next year, they just are not going to participate, but they said, I'm getting conflicts. I think there's actually politics going on here, but they're supposedly, imagine that, politics and Rotary. But they're also encouraging, if there is kids in our district, that the other districts would handle them and be able to go. But that's why when we look at this, we started this cultural connection, it would have a need if we could, put some people together. Like, Renee, how old is your son now? You said
he is turning 10.
Turning 10. And the eldest son, I think, what is he, 14, 15?
Mine is
14?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, and I think he would be willing to do it if we could find another student to match with him, that we could do some kind of online exchange where they could at least learn the cultures of other countries. Or the other thing that we talked about, even in our own country, in the United States, that they have if we did a couple of students in different parts of the country that could get together and learn. And Howard, I don't know, I'd asked about, down at your school, where your son goes, if there was anyone there that we might be able to do an online with.
Yeah, true, Jim, and I apologize for not having had time to follow up more with my boys' school. So,
Oda, you were gonna say something about your son, though. What were you gonna say, Elda?
My son, he is on the 8th grade, so 14. Not true friends indeed. So I don't know why he doesn't like them. At least not the kids in his school. Yeah, and so a youth exchange, even if it's online, that would be a great idea. I'd love it.
Okay, that's good to know. All right, well, that's half of an exchange already set then. So, I put something out just on youth exchange. This is not really part of this meeting exactly, but I did reach out to a bunch of homeschooling families that are here in the United States, because I figured it would be really easy to connect people, but I know homeschoolers are super busy. We are super busy. But if I knew for sure, what is your son's name?
Manuel.
If I were to literally have just a tiny bit of information, I bet I could find a match for him.
All right, then. Just text me what you need, what infos you need, and then I'll already bet.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
Or infos you need, and you'll have my email there.
Yep, I sure do. All right, anybody have anything else they want to add? Really pleased with our meeting today. I thought it was fun. Glad you guys could all join internationally. Scott, are you going to bed?
Yep.
Immediately. Good idea. Good idea. So if you all can make it.
Bye, Scott. What time? Bye, Scott. Now.
What was your question, Elda?
What time is by Scott now? That is
Scott is in Taiwan, so it's 1 a.m.
It's
oh wow.
2 a.m. now.
2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. Yeah.
It was 1 a.m. when we started.
Started.
2 a.m.
All right, so I will hopefully see you all. If you're on the board, we'll see you next Monday. If you're not on the board, we'll see you in 2 Mondays. And have a great.
And then in 2 Mondays, we will have a representative from Rotary International that'll be speaking on the foundation. So,
if I could just say something.
Yes.
non-board members, I believe, are welcome at board meetings.
We don't have very many secrets.
Well, I'm just saying, if anybody wants
No,
to
that's what I mean. Yeah,
participate in a board meeting, they're welcome to come next week.
sure.
There are no coups planned.
Well, they wouldn't be doing that at the meeting. They would be doing that outside the meeting.
I could start a coup. I've got a lot of experience.
Go for it. Hey.
The other thing we should have a report from Eloisa and Bob on their trip to Mexico for the water project.
Yeah.
Would that be something we could do at the regular meeting, or?
I think we should do it at the regular meeting, especially since the foundation meeting. I think that's perfect. Is that okay, you guys?
That's okay. That's
All
great.
right. Good. All right, so I'm gonna wrap it up. Jim, you have one more thing? Your mouth is moving.
I'm talking.
Okay, good. All right. All right, well, we'll see you all soon. And thanks again for coming. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks for the
Thank
time.
you.
Everybody.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Take care of
Bye.
yourself, Chris.